Absolutely. Thanks, Darren. Hello, everyone. I'm Ojal Sarah Paul, speaking from Vienna, Austria. So, armed with 5 years of experience working with government bodies, industries, and startup companies in India, and also the strong support of my husband, parents, and in laws, I came to Cambridge in the year 2019 for the MPhil in Bioscience Enterprise course. So I graduated during the unfortunate circumstances in the UK where Brexit had been initiated and COVID was spreading havoc. So even then, after graduation, I was fortunate enough to get an opportunity to work for a short 3 month period for a Cambridge based startup called Arete Medical Technologies as a senior business development manager. Thereafter, I explored the opportunity to work in Vienna, Austria, for a company called Mavie Next GmbH. In the past 4 years, I have held different positions there, namely innovation catalyst, product owner, and most recently that of a venture builder. Sure. So very early on in my time at Cambridge, one of my seniors gave me a nugget of wisdom. So wherein he mentioned that it is easier to get into a startup or a small and medium enterprise rather than a large established firm. I kept this in mind while I applied to the companies by the dozen. So, some of the strategies that actually worked for me is first apply to companies that provided internships to my cohort or were guest lecturers in my course. Then I reached out to the alumni of my course, asking for guidance and also inquiring if I would be a good fit and if they could refer me for any suitable positions in their companies. I was, in fact, able to build some lasting connections through this, and I'm happy to have done that. Of course, I actively attended Cambridge career fairs, and I cannot stress this enough. Network, network, network. So I attended as many events as I could to build my contact database. And then I kept in touch with them. I wrote to them back and I inquired regarding any opportunities they might have. LinkedIn is a very useful tool, and it was the tool which led me to some of my favorite mentors to date. It is through this medium that I found my thesis advisors, Dr. Laura and Mr. David. It is also the place where I got connected to a dynamic investor called Ms. Charlotte, who ultimately offered me the opportunity to apply and get inducted into Mavie Next. So, what I mean to say by this is do not hesitate to reach out to strangers. You never know who sees the potential in you. And last but not least, thanks to my research work, I had built a database of startups that were looking for funding. I also parallelly happened to subscribe to a lot of news channels about startups. And I could not help but identify a pattern and saw that some information that was relevant to certain startups I had been in touch with, uh, I could see that clearly. Without expecting anything in return, I began to send the relevant information to these companies that I thought could benefit from it. Lo and behold, magic happened. So, two of the founders that benefited from this information reached back to me, and one of them offered me my first job after graduation, and that was Arete Medical Technologies in Cambridge. So, what I want to share from this experience is that one should learn to give in order to receive. I landed in the UK on 30th of September, and the career fair happened shortly after in October. Honestly, I was completely caught off guard. It increased my stress levels, and I felt completely unprepared at that point in time. So, one thing I wished I could advise my younger self is that when you receive your acceptance to Cambridge, also prepare to walk into the career fair that happens in October. So, established companies could hire a year in advance sometimes, especially when it is through these fairs. I'm sure that having the job in the UK boosted my confidence and also the perceived value to my next employer. Thus, I had a better negotiation power and could make a choice regarding my future with a sense of peace rather than that of panic as my visa was drawing to a close. I personally have a flexible nature of work where I could do home office as suitable for me. I'm working on healthcare topics that I'm passionate about, and I'm constantly challenging the status quo by proposing disruptive products suitable for the markets of Central and Eastern Europe. My husband and I are lucky to get accepted to companies where English is the main medium of communication. Having said that, for those interested in working in Vienna, I would highly recommend to learn German and also be conversant in that language. This not only helps you integrate more easily, but it will also help you grow career wise. Austria does have one of the highest tax rates in Europe. However, the quality of life provided in Austria is extremely good, to the point where Vienna has won the title of the country with highest quality of life in several surveys multiple times. So I treasure the importance this place gives for a good work life balance in general. And to the second part of your question, as the current secretary and board member of the Oxford and Cambridge Society of Austria, I'm happy to let the future students know that we do host events where alumni and students mix to share important tidbits regarding studying at the two esteemed universities. We host multiple events focused on having intellectually stimulating discussions, but at the same time having a bit of fun. So I would be happy to connect on LinkedIn with the listeners, or alternatively, you could share your interest in the society through our page in the Cambridge University site. Finally, I would like to say be fearless and take the first step. There is always a road not taken that you could walk on with people you can count on. All the very best.